Your mind can work all night without moving your life 1 inch. It replays the conversation, predicts tomorrow, checks the same message for a meaning that was not there the first 12 times. And because it feels exhausting, it feels productive. But a mental loop is not deep thinking. It is thinking that has stopped producing new information, while promising that one more pass will finally make you feel safe. There are 8 common loops. By the end, you will know which one has been running in your head and the 2 questions that can interrupt it. The first is the future simulator. It begins with what if. What if the meeting goes badly? What if they leave? What if this small symptom means something serious? Planning turns uncertainty into a next step. You prepare the document, book the appointment, or have the conversation. The future simulator turns one uncertainty into 10 more. Every answer opens another emergency. Its hidden promise is seductive. If I suffer every possibility in advance, reality will not be able to surprise me. But imagined pain is not protective equipment. If the thought gives you an action, take it. If it only gives you another, what if, the simulator is no longer preparing you? It is charging emotional interest on a future that may never happen. The second loop is the investigation. Why did I do that? Why am I like this? How did I not see it? Reflection asks what happened, what it taught you, and what you will do differently. Then it ends. Rumination asks a question too large to answer. Not what made that conversation difficult, but what is wrong with me? The question sounds profound. It is actually too vague to create action. So the mind searches the same evidence and returns the same pain, mistaking familiarity for insight. Reflection extracts a lesson. Rumination reopens the wound to see whether a different lesson has appeared. The third loop is the social replay. You leave the room, but the room does not leave you. Your mind reconstructs the pause before somebody answered, the expression on their face, the joke that sounded better in your head. You watch yourself from the outside, as though hidden footage might reveal what everyone truly thought. But this is not footage. It is a reconstruction made by the most self-conscious version of you. A neutral pause becomes discomfort. A short reply becomes annoyance. One awkward sentence becomes the only thing anyone remembers. If something concrete needs repairing, repair it. Clarify the message, offer the apology, ask the honest question. If there is nothing to do, the replay is not protecting your reputation. It is an imaginary audience, keeping you on trial after everyone else has gone home. And then the mind stops replaying reality and starts rewriting it. The fourth loop is the alternative timeline. If only I had answered differently. If only I had stayed. If only I had chosen the other course, city, job, or person. Regret can be useful when it changes a future decision. I should have prepared earlier can become, next time I begin on Monday. But once the lesson exists, the alternative timeline becomes fiction. You compare the full complexity of your real life with a fantasy containing one corrected decision and none of its possible costs. In that world, the other job never becomes unbearable. The other relationship never changes. The road not taken has perfect lighting and no traffic. Reality cannot win against a life that never had to become real. Notice what has happened so far. The future simulator promises preparation. The investigation promises understanding. The replay promises social safety. The alternative timeline promises correction. Each loop offers something valuable, then keeps thinking after the value has been delivered. The fifth loop looks less like fear and more like responsibility. It is the perfect decision. You research, compare, open another tab and ask one more person. You wait for the feeling that one option is unquestionably right. It never arrives, because a decision is not a fact hidden beneath enough information. It is a commitment made before all the information exists. As long as you have not chosen, no choice can become your mistake. But refusing to choose is also a choice. It simply hides its consequences until later. For a reversible decision, replace certainty with a small experiment. Try the class, send the application, make the draft, test the idea. For a difficult-to-reverse decision, gather only the information that could genuinely change your choice. Then decide with uncertainty still in the room. When a decision does not remove uncertainty, the sixth loop arrives. Reassurance. Did I upset you? Are you sure? Does this seem normal? You reread the email, check the lock, search the symptom or look at the account again. For a moment, the anxiety drops. That relief is exactly what trains the loop. Your mind does not learn, I was safe. It learns, checking made me safe. So the next doubt arrives with instructions. Check again. Ask again. Make certain. The answer expires quickly because the loop is not satisfied by reassurance. It is strengthened by the relief that follows reassurance. The seventh loop is perfection. One more edit. One more adjustment. One more week before anybody sees it. Useful standards define done before fear enters the room. The perfection loop moves the definition afterwards. Every improvement briefly lowers the risk of judgment, then your eye finds a new flaw. The work receives smaller improvements while your life pays larger costs. The deadline passes. The idea never meets reality. The conversation remains rehearsed instead of spoken. Eventually, perfection becomes a way to avoid the one test private refinement cannot simulate. What happens when this leaves my hands? Then comes the eighth loop, the loop about the loops. Why can I not stop thinking? What if I am always like this? I must get this thought out of my head. Now one part of the mind produces the thought while another checks whether it has disappeared. Do not think about it. Is it gone? What about now? To check whether a thought is gone, the mind has to search for it. The search brings it back. Now you are carrying the original uncertainty and treating the thought itself as a second emergency. 8 loops, different questions, the same machine. It predicts, investigates, replays, rewrites, delays, checks, perfects or suppresses. The discomfort briefly falls, and that relief teaches the machine to run the same program next time. So how do you interrupt it? Do not begin by arguing with every thought. Name the process. This is future simulation. This is social replay. This is reassurance. Naming the loop creates distance between you and the emergency it claims must be solved immediately. Then ask the first question. Has this round of thinking produced new information? Not a new fear. Not a more vivid version. New information. If yes, use it. Then ask the second question. Is there one action available in the real world? Write it down, schedule it, do it. Make the thought earn another minute of your attention. If there is no new information and no available action, what remains is not a thinking problem. It is uncertainty asking to be carried. The mind has been making the same bargain. Give me one more thought and I will give you certainty. The way out is to decline. Maybe they misunderstood me. Maybe the decision will not work. Maybe the future contains something I did not prepare for. I do not have to resolve that possibility before I continue living. This is not pretending everything will be fine. It is recognizing that fine was never something thinking could guarantee. If these loops cause intense distress, compulsions, or serious disruption to daily life, professional support can help. These patterns can be treated. But in an ordinary looping moment, remember the difference. Thinking moves. A loop returns. Thinking produces information, a decision, or an action. A loop produces another reason to keep looping. Your mind may offer one final replay as this video ends. One final prediction. One final check. Let it remain unanswered. A thought can be unfinished without your life remaining paused.